Hi, welcome to Rome Total War at the Gates, Part 14. Sexy Battles. Jim here. Okay, here's the disposition of the enemy army. The Senate has come out to play. I think they want to kill me. I can't really blame them. This is light cavalry. Don't you believe it? No way. None of these generals drive around with light cavalry. Okay, I'm kind of badly outnumbered and outgunned. These guys have great experience and they're heavy and they have a lot of generals. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generals. And heavy units that are all experienced. This is going to be a good fight here, I do believe. Outnumbered again. I don't care. I'm in charge of the Parthians and we have a great general. Alright. Let's go over here and take a look at him. As you can see, this guy is very good at driving cavalry around. One of the best. But we really are kind of badly outnumbered here. Here we go. Onto the battlefield. And where I ended up seems to be right on top of a ford. It's not the greatest advantage in the world, but it is somewhat of an advantage. And I had hoped to purchase some more infantry units and break my cavalry army up into two smaller groups. Well, a small group and a large group, and put some infantry out here, but that wasn't to be. I could only come up with one unit. These Illyrian guys, I think is what they are. I'm not quite sure. They're the ground pounder unit, and there they are. I'm going to put them in the front line. I paid for these guys, and their job is going to be to stand before the entire Roman army as long as they can. I'll support them right down to the last, if it comes to that. I'm hoping they don't break and run too soon. And we're going to go ahead and use my standard mob setup of mass. And we're going to use these two different types of horse archers. The Persian horse archers, like I pointed out earlier, have armor and swords. So they can support these other archers quite well. If an enemy unit gets amongst them, some of them will be able to put up a pretty good account of themselves. Okay, so we're going to continue to pile them up over here. And the reason I'm putting everybody over here to the left, as everybody knows that, is that the shields on the enemy will be on their left-hand side, so I'll be shooting at their right-hand side from here, which will be unguarded. Okay, we're going to move our heavy cavalry over here, and our general unit somewhat close to everybody so you can have an influence over the battlefield, and our mercenary cavalry in the background. Here we go. And there is the Senate army. Wow, what a formidable force. And I don't really have too much of an advantage here, except for my horse archers do give me a distance advantage. They have a lot of cavalry. And it said light cavalry when you looked at it earlier, but they're not light, they're heavy. Every time you look at them on the battlefield, it'll say heavy cavalry. So what we're going to try to do is get in close here, get some shots off, try to intimidate them, and hold them as long as I can at this ford, and do as much damage to these heavy infantry as I can, and to their supporting units. You'll have to forgive me for not pointing out the exact composition of each unit, because I'm doing this live in live time, so I don't have really much time to try to analyze it at that level. The best you're going to get is when I pass the cursor over them, you'll be able to see what they are. Up here in front, I do believe these are all heavy infantry, and we're getting some hits on them. And we're going to go down here on the battlefield and take a look from their point of view. Okay, I'm getting some shots off with some of my horse archers. Not everybody's close enough to get in some hits, but just enough to do some damage to the Romans and maybe intimidate them into a premature charge. In which case, I'm going to continue to shoot at the guys that are pretty much in the middle of the ford here, if they decide to come running across and don't just march across. But they're taking some hits, and we're going to move forward a little bit. And I do believe that's getting a reaction out of the Romans. Okay, here they come. Go back to my side of the battlefield here, and we're going to move slowly off over to our left. Try to get some distance and continue to pound away at the Romans that are crossing the ford. We want to get the guys in the water because they'll be the most vulnerable. And all we're really going to do here is try to cause damage to each unit. gear here. Sorry about that. Okay, we're pulling away from the battlefield here, which is natural for the horse archers. They don't like to come into contact with the enemy troops. So we're going to stay relatively close here and keep pounding away on them. Looks like my mercenaries are holding up pretty good here against the entire Roman army. We're going to give them as much support as we can and hope that they hold out for a little while longer. Okay, we're taking some casualties here. Our mercenaries are starting to get beat up pretty bad, but that's to be expected. They're holding up though. They're still holding the enemy up. And as long as they can hold them there, we can continue to inflict heavy casualties on their line. Okay, they're starting to break through here. Looks like my mercenaries are starting to crack. There they go. Okay, I wonder if any of them are going to leave the battlefield. Looks like the horse cavalry, all these Roman generals, are starting to make a breakthrough here off to the right of the battlefield. We're not going to advance our heavy stuff yet. We're going to continue to try to inflict as much damage as we can with our horse archers. I know some of you guys think I should maybe charge in here, but I'm not going to yet. I need to inflict as much damage on these guys as I can before I commit my main cavalry force, which is not that significant. Okay, we're getting some hits in here, doing some damage to these guys. Looks like the Romans are trying to form up over here, and our heavy cavalry is doing some good damage. Well, inflicting some heavy casualties here at the center of the battlefield. Looks like we're going to be charged here from the rear. Okay, we're going to move our light cavalry back out to meet them. Okay, looks like the Romans are wavering in the center, but they have a bunch of reinforcements are showing up. We want to leave the battlefield here, but I guess we better turn around and attack this group. I don't want to get taken from the rear. Okay, the Roman center is starting to show some real signs of wear. And they're breaking up into individual groups here somewhat, which is good for me. And I can just tear them apart that way. Okay, we need to defeat this last group here in the center. And here comes some more reinforcements toward the center where we have all of our cavalry. Okay, we're actually holding up pretty good here. And if we can break the center here, then we can take control of the battlefield. Alright, the Romans are starting to show some more signs of wear again. They should crack any time now. There they go. Good. The center of the battlefield, I do believe, is mine. I'm going to move my cavalry back here, try to give them a rest, get them out of the main line of fire so they don't take any arrow hits from my own troops. And there is still that large force over at the fjord, at the ford down here. Okay, there's some action over here to the left, but it doesn't look like much. And there's something going on over here, and there's not many Romans in the background at all, from what I can tell from the battlefield flags. So the troops that we have out there should be able to handle that. We may take a look, but right now I want to concentrate on the center and move as many of these troops as I can down here, and we can overwhelm this guy by hitting him with 3 or 4 different archer units. Okay, and we're going to advance some more of our horse archers down here toward the Roman line. They seem to be just kind of sitting here, which is okay by me. If they don't want to advance, that's great. That's just great. Okay, this guy's starting to take hits all over the place. We're getting them from 3 or 4 different sides here. There are some Romans retreating down to the right of the battlefield. I don't really want to commit my cavalry to try to chase them down, so I'm just going to go ahead and let my horse archers shoot at them as they retreat. And we're going to continue to pound away at the center here, down by the Roman. Here comes a small Roman group. They've retreated. And we own the center of the battlefield, and I don't believe the Romans can do much about that. They could try charging out here, but I believe I can simply break up and tear them apart. They can never catch my horse archers with foot soldiers, that's for sure. Okay, it looks like the last of the Roman units is breaking up over there, so we're going to bring these guys back toward the main battlefield here, and toward the center. And we're going to go over here and take a fast look at what's happening with these guys over there in a minute. Looks like not much action over there in the distance. Okay, I guess we can concentrate our efforts here. Looks like the enemy's just standing here, taking hits, so we're going to pound them to pieces here. This is going to be fun. We'll move some more troops over here off to left of the battlefield and try to hit them where they're weak. Looks like there's still somebody retreating down there. No worry. Alright. Let's go over here and take a look at these guys. I think I'm going to get in here and just take a fast look. Okay, these guys are virtually destroyed. There's really not much of a... It shouldn't take too long to get rid of them. So we're going to recommit these guys, moving back down here toward the center. The Romans are still stuck on at the ford and are not moving. They seem to be in some kind of a strange formation. Okay, go down here and take a look at it. Well, that's bizarre looking. Okay, well, if they're just going to stand here, we're going to move in these guys. Eventually bring them down here. The rest of our horse archers should be arriving within a couple of minutes or so. I don't really want to fast forward, and I don't like to pause the game because that's cheating. If you pause it and then try to analyze the battlefield and look for a tactical advantage, then that's not realistic, so I don't do that. If I do press the pause button, it's by accident, and I don't like fast forwarding too much because you can lose control of the battlefield in a split second, so I don't really like doing that too much either. So here we go. Oh yeah, and there is a trick here when you have damaged units, like some of my guys here are starting to show a little bit of damage. You can merge them together after the battle. You can pick up one unit that has, say, 18 or 20 with another unit of similar value. For the experience values, you can't take an experienced unit and put it into an inexperienced unit. It has to work the other way around. So you can take the two, say, 18s and 20s and put them together to make a larger unit. And then you can go ahead and retrain them later and not lose all that experience. It's best to take your experienced units that are damaged and continue to merge them together to make really valuable units that way. I mean, you don't have to, when you retrain them, you lose a lot of the experience that they have. So you should really only retrain them when they're not that badly damaged. Okay, here come my reinforcements, and we did hit fast forward for a split second, and then I hit pause to try to slow the game down. See what I mean? Urgh. That's why I hate hitting fast forward. Okay, we're going to... the Romans are just in big trouble. If they try to advance out here, which they're doing, there's really nowhere to go. There's units on all three sides. And I don't have to come to grips with them. I can just sit here and shoot at them. This is a terrible waste of fine troops to watch the Senate army fall apart like this. What this means for me, though, is Rome should be wide open. I should doubt if there's hardly anybody left defending it. And since I have some assassins and some spies and diplomats lurking around on the peninsula, maybe I should be able to, hopefully I can sneak a spy into Rome, then open up the gates and roll all these guys right in. Okay, we're going to continue here to try to mop up. We do have an enemy general that we bought. We had him disband his army, then he joined our side. And we had hoped to get him onto close to this battlefield before this actually happened, but you'll see him after this. We'll bring him in here pretty soon and maybe use him to occupy Rome. That should be kind of cute. Looks like the enemy's just about finished here, and then we'll take a look at the after turn report and see how it looks. And this is the last of the Romans, and there goes the entire Senate army, with the exception of some pitiful remnants that might have gotten away. And that's it. Heroic victory. Okay, we didn't suffer too many casualties. The Romans got pretty much crushed. And look at my mercenaries here. They were reduced to about 3 or 4 guys, and now they're virtually complete again. That's something, all healed. That's really something. Wow. So they're a viable unit. I think I'll keep them. Build a monument to them someplace in the Empire for holding up so well and doing such good work. And there you are. That's the end of the turn. And now we'll take a look at the rest of this. Is should only go on for a couple more, a minute or so or two. So here's what Rome looks like. There's nobody in Rome except one unit. Look at that. Okay. And down here up on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see a Parthian flag. That's my Roman general who's on my team, and he has a bunch of foot soldiers and some barbarian horse I bought for him. So here's what the construction and what I've purchased and repaired and all that kind of stuff looks like. Faction announcements. And okay, this place has still been under plague for quite a while. End of turn, we spent a lot of money. So we'll take a look at what the next turn is going to offer. Financial report. It looks pretty good for next turn. Okay, that's great. And we do have a new cavalry. I mean, a new facility for building advanced cavalry over in Jerusalem. So I'm going to start doing that. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. Big battle. You guys have a good day and a good week. Jim here, and we'll see you for the Siege of Rome and whatever else happens after that. We'll see you later. Take it easy, guys.